In this video, we're going to talk about Dracaena problems. I have 3 Dracaenas and all 3 of them have problems, and I thought this is a great opportunity to show you what can go wrong when you are growing Dracaena. Now this one is obviously not looking healthy. You see how many yellow leaves it has. This one that looks a little bit healthier, it was so big, and this is just what I could save from the huge plant that I'm going to show you also in a second. And also the third one is, by the way, on the balcony. Now it's washed, it's a little bit wet, but it has so many problems, so let's talk about them in this video. I'm Anna and I help you grow beautiful and healthy plants. So in this video, let's address Dracaena problems. So I'm on my balcony and I want to show you my Dracaenas. This is Dracaena marginata. You can see that here we have new growth, and there as well, and here as well. So on all of these 3 stems we have new growth. However, the number of dead leaves or yellowing leaves, brown leaves, is not normal. Sometimes, of course, they will lose the leaves. It's a normal process of any plant to lose older leaves and grow newer ones. But as you can see, these leaves are even not the bottom all leaves, but they are drying from the middle of the stem. So this is definitely normal, and also the number of the leaves. So just moving this plant here to the balcony, I had already 3 leaves dropping. Here I have 3 laying on the bench, and also here I have some yellowing ones. So this one is also not healthy. So when you have several leaves at the same time, especially in the middle of the stem, they are turning yellow, brown, black even, something is wrong with your Dracaena and you need to pay attention. So here also another problem is dry tips, but okay, well, in winter we have most probably drier air and the air humidity is lower. You can use, of course, humidifier to correct this, but this is another sign that basically the air for your Dracaenas is too dry. Here this one is having a lot of problems, and you can see it just from the leaves. You don't need to really think if your plant is healthy or not, because it's obvious that it's not. So it's getting dry from the sides, from the tips, it's turning yellow, and overall it's not looking really great. Then this one, now this one seems to be pretty healthy. It's very small now, I must say, and this is Dracaena circulosa. It has to have a very nice pattern on the leaves. Now you will see also on the screen how big it was earlier, and this is basically just one stem that I could save. But basically, even though these plants are very easy to care for, I still had problems with all of them, and I definitely know the reason, and that's why I wanted to show you what can be a problem. Now this one, this part is already new growth that started to grow finally, but I was really struggling with all of them. So now, of course, the overwatering is #1 problem with all of the plants, and especially with Dracaenas, because definitely you need to neglect these plants a little bit. It's better if they stay dry a little bit, then you water them rather than overwatering, because it can kill your plant. Now with Dracaena marginata, here this plant can be watered more a little bit, because when you don't water it enough, the leaves can be droopy and they will not recover. So if you underwater Dracaena marginata, the leaves can get dry and fall off, or they will get a little bit droopy, but even when you water, they will not recover. So this one, try to water a little bit more. But again, the quality of the soil is the major problem here, because even though here I have perlite, the soil is really bad for this plant. The same soil I have here, but this one was smaller and could survive kind of, because the pot was small. But here the pot was big, and also here it's the same pot, the same size. Maybe the pot was big also, but I think the most important here is the soil. You can see it's really bad, it's very heavy, and whenever I water it just stays wet forever. Literally, I water it once a month and the soil is still wet. Now this one is wet now because I washed it 2 minutes ago for the video, but yeah, the quality of the soil, you can see that it's horrible. So we're gonna also repot 2 of them. So this one that has obviously many problems here, and Dracaena marginata as well. Yeah, it's standing there. And here I have perlite, and this is the soil that I'm gonna mix with it. Actually, I'm gonna mix perlite with this soil. You can take any soil that is supposed to be for Dracaenas or for palm trees, so that will be already good enough. And so now let me just mix the soil, and I will be showing you the roots. Now I will take this one out of the pot and I will show you the roots. Hopefully not all of them will be rotten. Maybe there will even be a need to change the size of the pot, but we'll see. I don't really want to change it to basically repot it to a very small one, because Dracaenas normally don't really like to be repotted every year. You can repot them every 2, 3, even 5 years, of course, if the quality of the soil is good. So that's why, yeah, we will see what we will do about the size of the pot. So let's start. Okay, so let's start. I will just add soil now. Let's mix it. I always add perlite just approximately. Oh, nice. Very dry and dusty. Let me maybe bring water first. And now let's try to take it out of the pot. Yeah, you can see that the roots are still a little bit okay. I would say they're not looking rotten right now, but the soil, oh my god, the soil is horrible. All right. So I will try not to damage the roots because they are quite sensitive, I must say. It's easy to grow them, to care for them, but they can be pretty sensitive to repotting. Oh. And also it's time for Dracaenas to be repotted only, I would say, when they outgrow the pot, when you see that the roots are coming out of the holes of the pot. But other than that, there's no need to repot them frequently. You can just fertilize them, not too much. It's also something that they don't really like. So definitely you see this root was rotten, and some of tiny roots are rotten as well because they are just empty. I can just pull them. Yeah, definitely it was the time to help this Dracaena because it would not survive this way. The soil was horrible, the pot is too big, and also the roots are getting rotten. So, and how you can feel which roots are rotten or which not, if you just slightly pull them, the rotten ones come off easily. See, this one, it's completely empty. Inside there is nothing. So this is what our Dracaena is left with. It's still fine, it will grow, but we need definitely a very small pot for this Dracaena because this one is horrible. Let me pick a nice pot for this one. So I decided to go with this transparent pot with soil, with holes. This is basically a pot for orchids, but it's really good because I can put it here. The water will go through the holes into this pot, and I can definitely remove it, of course. And there's also an empty area, basically an empty space here, and the water going through the holes will stay at the bottom of the pot. And if even I'm late or I don't really damp the water from here, the plant will still not be sitting in the water because, as you can see, it's not going through until the bottom, of course. And I chose this transparent one because, as we have seen, the roots were rotten, and in the transparent pot it will be for me easier to see if the roots are developing or if it's getting rotten again, so that I can try to maybe save it even again if there is a need. Well, let's first see if that's the correct size. I think yes, it will be fine. First, let's put some soil here, just a little bit, to see how the roots will fit in here. And I must say that this Dracaena was not in a bad soil, but it was just not in a fitting soil because it was in a cactus soil. And even though You can see the information on the internet that you can plant Dracaenas in cactus or succulent soil, but it didn't work for me because I could really feel that it somehow retains water. But also the reason can be in the size of the pot. So maybe the soil, it was still okay, but still I tried to now change the soil. But I think also what really matters is the size of the pot. So don't grow your Dracaenas in big pots. No matter how often or how rare you water them, there's always a risk of overwatering. And in a second, I will also repot Dracaena marginata. I think that there will be also the same problem will be there with some rotten roots. Let's see. Of course, trying to plant it in the center a little bit. And yeah, just slightly push the soil so that the plant gets stable. Okay, just like this. For now it looks okay to me. I will put it in here. Water just a little bit again. You don't need to water too much when you repot it, just a little bit so that the soil kind of gets more stable and the plant itself. So I think this one is okay for now. And by the way, the story of this Dracaena is really great because this plant was is with me already for two years, a little bit more. And I found this Dracaena just outside in a very cold day in autumn 2-3 years ago. So someone basically didn't need it anymore, didn't want it anymore, and they put it just outside in the cold. And of course, oops, of course they cannot tolerate cold temperatures. They will be damaged and die. And since then it grew perfectly fine. We were even going to an event and we were already late, but I decided to take the plant, go back home, be late for the event, but still save this plant. Okay, we have more roots here, but again, some come off really easy. So yeah, some roots are rotten. Definitely overwatering. So this is the major problem with these plants. And of course, you can burn, oh, see, came out. You can burn the leaves easily if you grow them also outside, outdoors, in the direct sun, if in your climate the air humidity is low. If the air humidity is very high, you can definitely grow them outside. And now I will also show you the video that I recorded in Costa Rica with air humidity of 80-90%. They're growing amazingly in the fields, hundreds of them for, you know, for the purpose of basically selling them to other countries. It was a propagation area. All right. So for this one, maybe we can repot it again in the same pot. Not really sure because these roots are new and you can see pretty awesome. They're healthy. But I'm not sure because in a smaller pot the tree is also very heavy and in a smaller pot it can tip over. So I'm gonna plant this one back into its pot here, but changing the soil basically and watering way less. Let's do it. Did you see these roots? Cool. These are new, healthy, thick roots. Amazing. All right. So again, let's put a little bit of soil in the pot. I need more soil, I guess. So we will put all the roots in here. Yeah, definitely this size of the pot is okay, but we just need to water less. Like this, again in the center. That will bring more perlite. Okay, I think something like this, and of course I will try to be more careful with this plant, not to overwater it, but also make sure that I will regularly look at it to see if it's growing or if the leaves continue to turn yellow and fall. And hopefully everything will be fine. If you have questions or if you have other suggestions how to take care of these plants better, of course, please write them down in the comments and stay passionate about plants. I'll see you in the next one.